Ooh, oysters and mussels. I absolutely love oysters and mussels. They are freaking delicious. A lean way to get a very good source of protein and a lot of minerals in you too. But for whatever reason, oysters and mussels do not like me. I actually have a story about this. So I think when I was around 20 years old, I went on a family trip with my friend, longtime friend. I've known him since like 4th grade or something like that. And pretty much I've known him for so long that he started inviting me to, you know, his family get-togethers and stuff like that. Like his family would plan a vacation like once every 2 years. One year we decided to go to Myrtle Beach, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the evenings we actually went to a really relatively well-known oyster bar. I went there with my friend and his mom and a couple other people from his family. And you know, we go to like one of the most famous oyster bars that are out in Myrtle Beach. You know we got to get ourselves a fat stack of oysters, okay? And we're just chowing down on this thing. Like, oh my goodness me. They could not bring out the oysters fast enough. We had ourselves the butter, the garlic got butter to dip the oysters in. And these were good. Like, you know, sometimes when you get oysters, they're very grainy. Funny enough, like these oysters just weren't very grainy. Like these are some of the best oysters I've ever had in my life. And oh God, I had to put away close to like 2.5, 3 pounds of oysters that evening. It was ridiculous. So many oysters we had. As we're putting away these oysters, we're paying the tab. We're tallying everything up. I pay my portion of the tab. Everybody else pays their portion of the tab. And we're finishing up for the night. Get back in the car. And about to head back to our Airbnb. As we head back to the Airbnb, I feel this really weird like happen from my stomach. I'm like, that's odd. Never felt that before. And we got like a really big fart coming. I did eat a lot of oysters 5 minutes after the fact. We're getting really close to Airbnb at this point. Hadn't traveled too far. My stomach makes it even louder. And at this point, I'm getting a little bit concerned. I'm like, my stomach should not be making all these noises right now. I don't feel like I have to take a poo. I don't feel like I have to fart either right now. Why is my stomach just like ascending its voice into the heavens and trying to call God above? Like this thing was loud. After that 5 minutes after that loud rumble happened, the rest of the family kind of turned back to me and was like, you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm chill. I'm fine. Keep going. Yeah, let's go ahead and get back. Let's get back to the Airbnb. It's like, you know, we can pull over, right? Like if it's that big of an emergency, we can pull over. I'm like, no, it's fine. We're all good. We finally get back to the Airbnb. And I don't know what happened in this last 5 minutes from when I said I was fine to when we got to the Airbnb. But I was straight up about to go nuclear. I needed a bathroom right then and there. It wasn't a request. It was a demand. I'm like, move out of the way. I gotta go. The only person that's not a part of his family, just moving past people as fast as I possibly can, trying to get to the Airbnb bathroom so I could secure my spot on the toilet. Now, remember, this is a family gathering of a lot of my friends' family. We only went with a few people to this oyster bar. The rest of his family was already back home. I think there was 2 toilets in the place, and I joke you not when I say
both of them were occupied when we got back from the oyster bar.
So, what was I gonna do? Like, literally, there's nothing I can do at this point. Like, both the bathrooms were occupied, and I needed to go. Like, I told you, this was not a request. I needed the bathroom right then and there. So what did I do? You know how I told you that this was like the first trip I've ever taken with my friend where I actually legitimately got into fishing, you know, catch and release type stuff? Well, we had a fish bucket. And there was also a pier that led to a little river that was out behind the Airbnb we were staying at the time. And I just let it rip. I just absolutely I could not hold it anymore. I told you, this was not a request. I had to go right then and there or I was soiling some drawers, okay? And so, I used the bucket. And how did I clean it out? I took the bucket and I tossed it in the river. And my friends knew everything that was happening because he actually was kind enough to bring me out toilet paper whenever this whole entire ordeal was happening. Brings me out toilet paper to make sure I can at least clean myself off. So that way I didn't have to walk around with poopy butt cheeks over here, okay? Obviously, I had to get rid of the toilet paper a different way. I didn't dump that in the river. I actually put that in like a Walmart trash bag. Here's the worst part about this story. I had to clean this bucket out because this was not my bucket, okay? The pier that we had like a little hook that you'd put the bucket onto whenever you weren't using it. What I had to do was I put the bucket on this hook right here. I grabbed the hose that was near the little pool area at the time, and I brought the hose out to the bucket that was near the river. And I was pressure washing this thing as good as I could. But, you know, I was also trying to be a little bit smart about it too. I didn't want no poopy water to get on me. Okay? I didn't want no poopy water. So I stood back a little bit. I made sure I didn't get any splashback from it. This was a mistake. I should have angled out the poopy water out towards the river, holding the bucket, so that way, you know, if I did get any splashback, it would have splashed back out into the river. I would have been fine. But my smooth brain at the time thought, this hook is strong enough. It's held fish in buckets before. It's fine. I'm pressure washing this bucket off, and the hook breaks. Poopy bucket goes straight into the outlet. So yeah, spent the next half hour fishing out a poopy bucket out of the river, out behind the Airbnb. And by this time, I'd caused a little bit of a scene. And just a small bit of a scene. The rest of the family was out there, just laughing their tails off, absolutely losing their minds that I had not only one into a bucket, but two lost the bucket in the river. I did eventually recover this bucket. I did eventually get this bucket cleaned out, but I have never heard of the end of it since then. And that's what I knew whenever I got invited back to the next family trip, that they actually did consider me family. So at least, you know, the poopy bucket didn't keep me from, you know, being included in future family trips, which is super pog in my opinion. So, hey, at least everything turned out well at the end.